Hello people YouTube, and today I will be giving, as the title says, my thoughts, the review of the Destiny 2 Forsaken DLC for people who don't own it already or just want after just watching a review just because. But in my opinion, and also by the way, the gameplay you're seeing is just doing public events, getting materials, since I'll get into that later, but not the most entertaining gameplay, but something. And let's get into the story of Forsaken. The story is honestly really good. I love the story, and I love how well, spoiler alert for people who haven't. I love the fact on how Cayde well, I don't love it, but like I love like how the way they did it. Like they killed off Cayde. Yeah, nobody likes it. Everybody loves Cayde, and it sucks that they had to choose the best character. But obviously, it makes sense why they had to choose Cayde, because for obvious reasons. If they would have chose like Zavala or Ikora, nobody would have really cared that much. It would be like, oh, that sucks. Oh well, let's avenge them. Let's avenge him or her. It would have been like a tiny impact. He would have cared that they died, but not really a lot. It would like damn rip. Oh, Cayde, a character that honestly has like personality and everything. It makes sense. It's really like it hits straight in the feelings. If you honestly enjoy, like, loved Cayde as a character, it would have hit you straight in the feelings. But it's very sad that it killed the best character in the game. Even though personally I don't like the hunters. I don't like the hunter class.
The Fallen are bringing in their armory.
But
again,
Cayde is my favorite Vanguard, even though he is a hunter, because he was funny. He had character.
Look at
There's
those caches.
very few.
They never learned.
There's like almost nobody hated Cayde. Everyone loved Cayde. So it really hit straight in the feels. And then since it was a DLC based all revolved around him, got to see more of him. They made him they basically threw everything at you, all his last jokes and everything. It just hits you straight in the feels, and it sucks. But honestly, so Cayde gets killed, and then our Guardian. Oh yeah, let's get into our Guardian. Our Guardian finally speaks, but he speaks like 9 words, and everybody was thinking, oh man, our Guardian's gonna speak, that's gonna be dope, man, we've been wanting to speak. But he spoke 9 words. I mean, that's a huge improvement from the 2 other DLCs and the main story, where he spoke not even a single word. So it's an improvement, but not an amazing improvement, which is sad. I was hoping when I saw his trailer saying, oh, he's gonna speak, I'm like, man, it's gonna be like Destiny 1 where like he spoke a lot. But nope, he hardly even spoke. Some people said he might as well not even like had any line, but I mean, it's better than nothing. Maybe if we have one more DLC, our Guardian might speak again, or if we just go straight to Destiny 3, then at least we'll know that they'll have, well, our character will actually, I guess, speak. Maybe they'll improve. Maybe they just thought of the Guardian speaking like last minute.
That's all the cannons. You know
But
what that
I mean, look towards the future. And The cutscenes were very nice. I love the cutscenes. The cutscenes were amazing, as always. And from what I heard, that supposedly they're gonna cut down on the cutscenes and more on gameplay. Some people might say, man, oh, that's nice, but I mean, to me, that kind of sucks. I wish they just added, instead of taking away cutscenes and adding more gameplay, they should just added more cutscenes and added more gameplay. So there's lots of amazing cutscenes and lots of gameplay. And also when it comes to power, the soft cap is 500. But when you reach a certain point, the game's like, screw it, you're close enough, and it just starts throwing everything at you. Like, when I was still in the 30s, most people saved up their Vanguard tokens, saved up their tokens, materials and stuff. And on day one, I already had gear that was 503, but of course I couldn't use it. And then once you get later on, it just throws everything, and you just start leveling up. And the XP level was increased from 30 to 50. Which,
how do you like that, Fallen?
To me personally, I don't like the XP being so high. Some people didn't mind it, some people enjoyed it, but I mean, I didn't really like it. I wish they would just increase it by 10 because, you know, I don't want to try and like contain myself from spending money in this game. So I want to get all the bright engrams I can. And they also added not 3 new supers, but they've added a new super or a new super code for every subclass. So the three void supers have another code in the middle. Same thing with the solar and arc. The warlock's arc, he jumps up and fires a death beam, as you guys know. You guys probably seen the abilities, the supers through trailers or other people's gameplays, but the only one I've actually had playtime with is the new solar super for the Titan, where it's just a giant hammer. And honestly, it's fun and it's really good, but it's only good for bosses. Just because when you use it like on like majors and stuff, if you slam, they just keep going up in the air, and your super is basically doing next to nothing to them, since they keep going up in the air and avoiding it, because your slam creates a sunspot, and it's annoying. That's why I say so if you use it against majors that are gonna take some hits, you don't even slam, just do the swing. The slam is good against bosses since it creates a sunspot, but against majors where they can tank it, they're just gonna keep going up and up and up in the sky. And I'll show you some new super. I don't really use it as for a reason I said, so I just use the OP hammers. And the other Titan one that I know is the missile. You just throw yourself like a missile. It's whatever. It reminds me of Death from Above, that one perk the Titans used to have on the Fist Havoc. And the Void one, your Sentinel, you hold up a giant shield and they can't shoot you, but you can shoot out, and it also gives everyone behind the barrier weapons of light, so that's pretty good. And the new mechanics they've added, like one of them is them making it where you need more materials to infuse items. Now back then all we needed was crystals and I think Master Core. No, all we needed was just crystals and glimmer, and it was pretty cheap. So we would always just infuse everything we wanted if we found a certain gear we liked. So now, for example, let me show you my Whisper of the Worm, 380, and I'm like, somebody's like, why don't you just infuse it? But it's because, see, now I can infuse it, but for the Whisper, I need the Glimmer, not that big of a deal, 20 shards, 4 Masterwork cores, and 25 Alkane dust. And that's a lot of materials, and I don't like it, but I can understand where they're getting at. They want you to think about infusing, like, oh, am I actually going to use this? And so so that's why they made it expensive.
Hive ritual activity, Guardian.
People think about it.
We've handled this before.
People think about what they're infusing now.
They must really love this
But
spot.
it's
The
annoying.
hive require precise
You know,
conditions
it
for
makes
their
sense.
rituals.
I don't like it. It's annoying. But they might nerf it. They might keep it the same. Only time will tell. They probably won't nerf it. But we'll see. They probably won't just because they want you to speak. They want you to speak. Or not speak, think about what you're infusing. Think carefully instead of like, oh, let me just infuse this into this just because. It's gonna make it a little bit difficult. So if you're like mid-raid, unless you have the materials, then like you can infuse it. But if not, then you're kind of screwed. So now we're back to the good old farming times, and yeah, yes we can buy some supplies. I think it's 5 crystals or like 5 of materials, but you can't even buy Masterworks. I mean, you can't even buy Alkane dust. I'm not sure if that's a glitch or that's meant to, but you can buy
for the hive.
1 Masterwork
count of your
core
victories,
for
but
I
I
think
know there will
5
be many
crystals or
more.
1 crystal, and then I think 5 or 10,000 glimmer for a crystal, and then the same thing. I think like one or 5 crystals for like 5 materials. I like if they would have just made it where we can just buy it all, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But since I can't even get Alkane dust, it's annoying. And also from experience, there seems to be 2 weekly resets, or I guess, not 100% sure, because Tuesday's the weekly reset we all know about, and there was the Rehappened DLC came out, everyone was grinding, we all did our powerful engrams, and then like Friday there was another reset, and it reset all the things, so now you were able to earn the powerful engrams again from the activities you already earned them from, which was confusing. I'm not sure if it was a weekly reset, if there's 2 resets in a week now, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just assuming that powerful engram, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that a lot.
Sending you a manifest.
You don't get Masterworks. You get Masterwork cores more easier compared to year 1, but it's still not as common where you're gonna be getting them all the time. But you know, it's easier. That's all that matters. It's easier from year 1. Not as hard where you can only get them from dismantling Masterworks. Now you can get them occasionally from legendaries, or you can just buy them for some crystals. And there's bounties. There's bounties for the new character, the Spider, which is the fallen dude that I call pedophile, who looks dead ass like a pedophile. And you can buy some daily bounties from him. You can also buy some weekly bounties off him. And there's 1 weekly bounty he has that provides powerful gear, but I'm not sure if it's gonna stay like this, but it's like like basically 540 I think to complete it. So it makes sense why it's powerful gear, because it's hard. And from what I heard is that the powerful gear you get varies on what activity you do. So if you like do a heroic public event, you will get powerful gear, but it won't be as high as compared to if you got like a powerful gear from like the Nightfall, which is hard. To me, it seems the same, but some people have been saying that they get better powerful gear from like harder activities compared to the easier activities that provide powerful gear. Which I don't know much, but that's what I've been hearing. Maybe it's because I don't know, just because it's still more better than what I have. So I mean, I'm happy. I ain't no like in a rush to get you know, like
Supplies are
high
running
power.
low. Putting
Like
in a request and
the world's
annotating
highest,
what the
which
multi-point
if I
plan.
remember correctly on Xbox, the world's highest power is I think 532 or 542, and then PS4 is just one above that. Anyways, I'm not one of those people, so it doesn't really bug me. I don't go for world's first on anything, or world's highest power, so it doesn't really bother me. But it does like powerful gear is everywhere. You get it from completing 3 daily heroics, 3 heroic strikes, which heroic strikes are pretty mundane now. Since once you get the powerful engram, they're like once you get to a certain point, the heroic strikes won't even really provide you with anything useful. Knife, on the other hand, you can keep grinding that, and it'll give you blues and purples that are better, that are higher, that are five that are better than sometimes you. I think when you reach a certain point, the knife will stop providing you with good loot. But if you're still trying to level up, you just grind the Nightfall. You'll get enough gear to level yourself up. And let's see. Supers, I already talked about that. I already talked about the Titans, but I mean the missile for the Titan, I don't really like it. Just perk, but it's just slightly better. Sledgehammer good, but I don't recommend using the slam. The shield is boring, but it's useful. So if you were like watching this to see if you should get it, and then you end up getting it, and you want like my recommendation on what super to go for first, I would say the Sledgehammer, because it's the coolest one, but it can be annoying at times, and it's powerful. And then the second is up to you, but I would recommend going for the shield, and then the missile obviously for last. And you can only get 1 new super per week because you need this new material or this new item called the Seed of Light, which lets you get a new super. And you can only do it every Tuesday. Or you can do this new activity in the Dreamy City, where it's basically like escalation protocol, and when you complete it, you have a chance of getting a Seed of Lights. And if you keep doing it, you can technically get 2 Seed of Lights a week. But if you're just a casual player and you don't mind waiting, then
Guardian, the Fallen are bringing in their armory.
Again.
You'd think they'd know better by now.
You can just wait till Tuesday to get another Seed of Light. And the exotics, they're harder to get. They removed 3 of coins,
Look at those
So no, you can no
They
longer
never
get
learn.
easy
Then
exotics.
teach them a new lesson.
Xur right now, he's basically pointless if you're a veteran, just because he won't be selling Forsaken exotics for a while, which I think he won't be selling it for the month of September, which kind of sucks if you're a veteran player. If you're not a veteran player, then basically still they're somewhat useful for you, so you can still get some exotics you missed. So and if you had 3 a coin previously, it becomes an item, and you discard it and it'll give you back the shards you spent on it. So I bought some 3 a coins beforehand on the last time Xur came before the DLC, so I can pop them and then increase my chance of getting an exotic. But obviously did not work since they kind of removed them. And they also have some other consumables too, like, so you can get more glimmer, if you it'll increase your chance of getting a masterwork core, and it stays until you get a masterwork. There's bounties for Hawthorne now, so that's how you get XP for your clan now. You have to do she has 3 daily bounties and 3 weekly bounties. The new game mode they added, Gambit, is extremely fun. I like the new PvE/PvP like combination they did. It's one of the best game modes. Love it. I love how you do PvP at the beginning, and you have to collect these modes for every kill you get.
You know what that means.
And for 5 to 9 modes, you'll get a small blocker, which will send a taken Cabal to their side and locks their bank, so they can't put any modes until they kill it. And the medium blocker for 10 to 14 modes, you get a medium blocker which spawns a Taken Knight. And for 15 modes you get for 15 modes you get Ogre. So obviously the Ogre is the best one to go for, but it's a risk to go for since you had 15. And when you die, whatever modes you had previously will disappear. You lose them forever. So yeah, like you have 14 modes, you die with 14 modes. Those 14 modes are gone. It's only gonna drop 4 modes out of the 14. So technically, you lost 10 modes.
2 walkers. How do you like that, Fallen? Oh wait.
And
An
it's
extremely successful sortie,
fun, and
as I've come to
also
expect
at
from you.
certain
Well
points,
done.
portals
Again.
will activate, letting one player from your team, and if they reached it, one player from an enemy team to cross over to your side, and they can get a maximum of 4 kills on that side. So one of your teammates cross over, he gets a quad feed, it'll instantly teleport back because they don't want. And you're in there for I think 20-30 seconds, and they obviously add no more than 4 kills, since they don't want people just getting kills non-stop for like 30 seconds, which will be extremely annoying if like a really good player enters their side and just keeps spamming like super or like sleeper, which runs the gambit right now. People just go around with like sleepers and just basically technically like snipe people across the map before they can even do anything. And also every time you go into their side, you have an overshield, which is useful but honestly annoying, since when they first come in, you can shoot a sleeper at them and they'll tank 1 shot if they just entered. which is annoying. But it is what it is. I would prefer that you weren't allowed to take heavy over to enemy side. But it is what it is. The Crucible, from my experience, I think they turned off skill match making, which either they turned it off or they lowered it down. I'm not sure, but they did something with Crucible, which kind of like changes, so now you're not always going against like sweaty Crucible clans, but at the same time I don't understand why sweaty Crucible clans go into normal Crucible to sweat when they have a competitive playlist, and they have Gambit, which is also a competitive mode, but yet they still enter into normal Crucible just to wreck other teams and basically ruin the game for them, which is not fun. But that's not really Destiny's fault. That's more of people being
We lost one of the crew
like
in an ambush.
annoying.
She was carrying sensitive materials, and I need you to recover them.
And you get access to 2 new locations: the Tangled Shore, which is what if you're a Destiny 1 player, it's basically the Reef, just a different part of it. And then once you complete a certain quest line, you'll get access to a new area called the Dreamy City, which is where you can do the event, the Dreamy City's version of Escalation Protocol, to have a chance of getting another Seed of Light, so you can get another super. Which I don't know why they couldn't come up with a new event, which is basically the same thing as. Obviously, it doesn't work exactly the same as Escalation Protocol, but it's pretty much the same thing. They just changed some like one or two mechanics. But whatever's. Unless they have a good like incentive, I'm most likely not gonna do it. It's like Escalation Protocol. Some people be like, "Oh, but the weapons were good," or the OP shotgun. But honestly, I'm not a shotgun person, so it did not bother me whatsoever. I didn't really try to get the shotgun at all. Like, I did Escalation Protocol here and there just because I was bored, waiting for a Forsaken to come out. But I mean, I wasn't
I'm reading
crazy on the
signs of hive
shotgun.
ritual activity, Guardian. Up for it? You've handled this before.
And
They must really love this spot.
that's
The hive do
about
require
it.
precise
And basically all the
conditions for their
DLC.
rituals.
That's all I remember. Obviously, I pointed out some pros and some cons. So I recommend you getting the DLC. If you're a Destiny player, I highly recommend it. The price kind of deters people because they say it's more content than the last 2 DLCs we got. Whatever. That's what they say, but the price is $40 for the DLC, for the Forsaken DLC, and $35 for the annual pass, or $80 if you buy the bundle. And it's pretty pricey, but it's worth the price. I highly recommend it. The pros outweigh all the cons in this. And there's a lot more stuff. They brought back they brought back 2 old exotics, which I know they're bringing back, which was the Queenbreaker's Bow and the Lord of Wolves. That I know. If they're bringing back any other exotics, I either forgot or it's not shown in the collection. And in the annual pass, we're gonna have 3 mini DLCs, which the next one, which come out in winter, spring, and summer.
Another day, another night.
And
Another demoralizing defeat for the Hive.
yes,
I've lost count of your
winter,
victories, but
spring,
I know there will
and
be many more.
summer. They're coming out with the 3 mini DLCs if you have the annual pass, as well as there's gonna be more exotics. Like in the trailer, if you saw, they showed off they showed off an LMG in the video, but there's no LMG, and I'm assuming they're gonna bring it into the game when the Black Armory DLC, mini DLC comes out. And the reason I say mini DLC is because it's not really, from what they say, it doesn't have as much content as like Warmind or Curse of Osiris. It has less content, but it's less content, but it's enough to be considered DLC. It's more content than like a normal update, like an April update or whatever, but it's less content than like the 2 DLCs we paid for, which is annoying. How we basically gotta put our trust into them, but from the way they made Forsaken, it's worth it. I believe in them. I believe that the 3 mini DLCs they're coming up with are gonna be worth its price. It's gonna be worth the annual pass, the price you pay for the annual pass. I believe it would be worth it. So I also recommend you getting the annual pass, so you can get full access to everything that's gonna be coming out in the next year, for the year 2 of Destiny 2. And that's everything. If I missed anything, just leave it down in the comments. Correct me if I'm wrong with any of the things I may have said, but are completely wrong.
I want intel on their loadouts. Find
But
out what they're carrying.
Like if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video, and subscribe, and keep on glitching in those video games.